Hello everybody, this is Jahamas1. Today I'll be showing you Logan's set. Now Logan in Dark Souls, he's kinda like the master sorcerer. He sells you the best sorceries in the game, and as you unlock him, he only sells you better sorceries later on. If you were to fight Logan before he turns hollow, I believe he would only use a cataclysm to attack you, with his sorceries of course. And of course he'll be wearing his full set of armor and his small leather shield. Now throughout the video I'll be using the plus 14 scimitar, which is the weapon that he uses as when he is in his hollowed form, and I'll also be switching between an enchanted plus 4 scimitar as well later on in the PvP matches. So his armor itself, it does give you some pretty good defense. In my opinion, his armor is actually the best lightweight armor in the game. Although the gloves and the boots, they could be replaced by something a bit better. Although they are pretty good as well. Yeah, his hat, it offers like a ton of magic defense, as you could see right there earlier. And as for the scimitar, it's just a regular curved sword, but it is pretty good. It took me a while to get the hang of how to use this weapon, but eventually I got it. After my duels with Lord Dreed, I got it. Learned some tips on how to use this scimitar. Now I've used curved swords before, quite a bit actually, but I've never used them with zero poise, which is much different. Because any curved sword actually, in my opinion, is a high damage per second weapon paired with an high damage weapon enchantment such as crystal magic weapon. So it is quite the lethal weapon. But then again, using it with zero poise is quite challenging, as with any other weapon really. So now here, the first encounter that you have with Logan is right here in Sen's Fortress. To unlock him, you just turn that lever, that handle, to point in the opposite direction of this area. Then you turn it back in a different direction because you don't want it to hit you. And by the way, this footage was actually taken from one of my trainings and session videos that I recorded while I was commentating. Well, actually, I recorded it. Oh yeah, I recorded it and I commentated live with my friend. So yeah, you find Logan, talk to him. Oh yeah, use the master key back there. Otherwise, you will have to go down and find his cage key, which is later on in Sen's Fortress. And after you unlock him, he'll return to the Firelink Shrine. And here you can buy some of his sorceries, which are pretty good, but these are not the best. You got your soul spear there and your homing soul mass. Now, for the next time you encounter him, well actually after you place the Lord Vessel, he'll show up around here. Now, I believe you don't actually need to talk to him here, although you will need to go back and get his key from a chest, which is towards the end of the Duke's Archives and right before the Crystal Cave area. Then once you get that key to unlock his jail cell over there, you come back to that location and you unlock him. This is the key right here in this chest. Archive Tower Giant Cell Key. So once you have that key, unlock his door and talk to him. Now you have just unlocked him, and next he'll be in that area around where you found that key. But he'll be in a different room though. A different room with all the books. Studying the books, learning more sorceries. And over there he will actually sell you even a larger variety of sorceries. Including, the good old crystal magic weapon, which is like my favorite. It's a very powerful enchantment. As well as Dark Moon Blade and Sunlight Blade. But of course those are the faith enchantments. And he'll also sell you Crystal Homing Soul Mass and the Crystal Soul Spear. And if you talk to him, he'll tell you about, just tell you the weakness of Seath the Scaleless dragon, which is, destroy that crystal thing, then you can actually damage him. And here, I didn't have enough souls, so I had to, go help some people out and co-op, and then later on I came back and I had enough to buy all of his sorceries. And it is required for you to buy all of his sorceries in order for you to get his full set. Now for this footage, I had actually recorded it a while ago. It looks like I'm on my level 160 character here, and I did have another friend, well not friend, but just a random person in co-op to help me out with this boss. Not that you need help, it's a pretty easy boss. Although I'd recommend that you keep an eye on his head as you attack his front body. Just, you know, see what he is up to, see what he's doing. And if you want to get his tail cut off, this guy's tail, Seath the Scaleless tail, I'd recommend you go stand by the crystal thing, and then he'll break it, then you run around and cut off his tail. Or you can have a co-op buddy help you, which is even easier. So yeah, this character is a faith build, but this will be the only clip that I actually show this character, use this character on. And as I said, curved sword plus weapon enchantment equals high DPS. So in my architectural design class, I gotta make this boat project, and I'm actually in a group of 16 people, but no one's really taking the initiative in my group, although people are looking at me to do quite a bit of the work, even though I honestly don't know how to begin this thing. I did design some boats in SolidWorks, which is this program that you use to engineer things. You can design 3D models, and yeah, you can build stuff. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, we have to build the boat out of cardboard and duct tape. Actually, we're going to be using this packaging tape, which is much more stronger, and then we'll put chemicals on it to make it more water resistant, and hopefully completely water resistant. So after you beat the boss, I would recommend that you just use a homeward bone, as you saw me use right there. Then that way you don't have to like walk all the way back. So next up, we'll be going to talk to Logan, and we will notice that he's a bit different this time. You know, just a bit different. As you can see, he does not recognize me, and he thinks I'm disturbing him. And by the way, as I said, it is required for you to buy all of his sorceries, all of his items. And if you quit the game then load back, he will not be there anymore. So now what you want to do is you want to go to where you originally fought Seath the Scaleless, when Seath was completely invincible. And I would recommend that you rest at that bonfire back there. And then once you get there, you can fight Logan, and then you can just use a homeward bone and be back to that bonfire, because you will need to go back there, and I'll show you that a little bit. This is my one character that I've done like the most co-op on and never died twice in a row. It's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, by the way, today's my birthday, but I probably won't be uploading this video till tomorrow because I'm busy today, and I gotta have my computer render this for 2 hours. So here I actually switch out some of my equipment so that I have more magic resistance, and well yeah, just it's all about the magic resistance when fighting Logan. Not that Logan is difficult or anything. His spells are very easy to dodge, and he has clearly no armor. So I heard from one of Epic Name Bro's videos that he actually has no armor because he wants to be like a dragon or something like that. Yeah, and as you can see right there, he's using the scimitar. And for the other equipment that he's currently using, as he is hollowed, it would include his hat, his small leather shield, and his crystallization cataclysm. Crystallization cataclysm is the cataclysm with the highest magic adjustment in the game, and you know the magic adjustment affects your damage of the spells and all that good stuff. And the crystallization cataclysm right there actually does some decent melee damage, as in between 100 and 200 melee damage. Yeah, just use its heavy attack and you'll do a melee hit with it. So I kind of cut through this battle quite a bit just because I made it a 4-minute battle just because I wanted to make sure that he was using the scimitar. Now I was looking around and I couldn't find any kind of source that told me what melee weapon he used. I knew he did use a melee weapon as he is hollowed. And well, yeah, just the easiest solution was to battle him myself, and I knew it was probably, you know, a very good idea necessary for this video equipment showcase. So as you can see, as an NPC, he's pretty good at deflecting. He can deflect my sword as well. Now he was backed up here for quite a while and just deflecting my talisman punches. And of course, if you stand right next to him, stand like immediately in front of him, then he will not be able to actually hit you with his spells. So I finally take him out with my fists, pick up his item. He drops the white dragon breath and his hat, as well as his tin crystallization catalyst. Now the white dragon breath sorcery, it requires 50 intelligence, and that is the highest intelligence requiring sorcery in the game. After you have defeated him, like I said earlier, I'd recommend that you use the homeward bone, warp back to that bonfire, and now you'll pick up the rest of his armor and his catalyst. The only problem with the tin crystallization catalyst is the fact that it reduces your number of sorceries by 50%, and it actually rounds down against your favor. So if you have crystal magic weapon, then rather than being 1.5 casts, it'll be 1 cast. But that actually works out fine because by New Game Plus, you'll actually have the potential to have 6 crystal magic weapon total casts of the, you know, the spell. So that means that you can actually cast it 3 times with the crystallization catalyst, which in my opinion is one reason why sorceries are better than miracles. Although it is very debatable. I think the intelligence build enchantments, they do slightly more damage than the miracle build enchantments. And man, that guy just barely took me out. These guys invaded me when I did not expect it, but at least I had my armor set up, my armor set for this video. And I tried quite a few times to invade here in the Duke's archives, but I only got like a few invasions. And actually I got like 4, but 3 of them I think I just disconnected from the user's world, the host's world. So I suppose that person really wanted to avoid PvP, or those people, because I'm pretty sure it was more than one person. Now this person here is rather interesting, and just like all the others, he seems to really not want to fight another player. But that's too bad, because you know that's how Dark Souls works. And he goes a flask, you know, that's whatever. And watch this right here. Boom, that's what he gets for flasking. That looks like it hurt. Now with the curved sword, I really don't do that much backstab, that much riposte damage. And in my opinion, it's much more of a spam the R1 button weapon. But that's fine, I suppose. And I still do get quite a few ripostes and, you know, some backstabs throughout the video. And of course, I am Logan. I use my sorceries. And look, oh man, I just got a riposte on that turtler guy who is turtling. And this guy here really does not do anything to dodge my sorceries. So I take him out pretty easy after that riposte. And now here I bow to that guy, but luckily for me, the dude with the bandit knife there didn't backstab me or anything. And I do believe this is the person who I previously fought in my last match, who I had killed quite quickly, but now he took me out in one single backstab. Yeah, it's fine. It would seem to me that he's using the hornet ring, but you know, oh well. Just fishing for backstabs there. You know, fishing for backstabs, it's not really that big of a deal to me, but you know, if that's all that you're doing, yeah, it's a little bit cheap. There's always a time and place for everything, if you know what I mean. Now this guy here, he had really underestimated me, and yeah, if I get hit or if I block that two-handed attack, then it takes out all my stamina and possibly breaks my guard. Well, breaks it really easily if I don't have any stamina, or if I don't have full stamina. So this guy gets my HP low enough where I think he just kind of stopped taking me seriously. And well, yeah, as you can see, he's a sorcerer himself. I hit him with my white dragon breath, and he casts a sorcery while I'm right immediately in front of him, which clearly missed me. Went right over my head, did him no good. He underestimated me, took him out. Now for these next 4 matches, I believe these are actually duels I had with one of my subscribers. Now these duels, I had them with Lord Dreed, and right here, this is actually the first time I used any sorceries in our match. So he really did not expect that white dragon breath. Now all the other times that I used it against him, he did dodge them. Yeah, this person's a pretty good player. You know, prior to me actually fighting him, I really did not have any good tactics to using a curved sword with 0 poise. And thanks to him, I figured out some useful stuff. And somehow right there, I was able to still cast my white dragon breath, even though I was hit by his Golem Axe special attack, which I'm not sure how that worked, but oh well. Maybe I got some fake poise going on there with my actions, you know, kind of like how you have some fake poise in the backstep. So yeah, he takes me out there with a very nice roll attack to finish me off. I just barely did not dodge that attack. Now our only rules for our matches here were 0 poise, and throughout most of the matches I was using my +4 enchanted falchion, which actually does some decent damage. But it is a very, very short range weapon, so it's rather difficult. Although its running attack is pretty good, there I actually get a parry on his heavy attack, but I'm unable to get the riposte because once again I lack the confidence that I'll successfully get the parry. Now here this guy had invaded us, and this happened quite a few times. Like a bunch of people invaded us while we were in the middle of our fights, or before or after our fights. And just about all of them were very honorable. But, you know, if he were to assault both of us and rush both of us, that'd be like a 2-on-1, and that wouldn't be very wise. So here I go to take this guy 1-on-1. I allow him to interrupt our battle, but I heal, so it's fair. So it's all fairly matched. Now, I did not expect to win this battle, because I knew with how much stamina I have and how little stability this small leather shield has, I probably could not even stand one single hit of the shield. I mean, against the sword without my stamina and guard breaking and me possibly just completely taking damage. But here, I think I take this guy on in 3 hits to my surprise. I mean, that's just super surprising seeing how low damage it is, my falchion. My scimitar. Yeah, it's just 3 simple hits with my crystal magic weapon on the scimitar. That's pretty insane. I think I do about 677 damage with that, so that is really high damage actually. And the curved swords are a very quick weapon, although they are rather short range. And like having high poise really complements the weapon in my opinion. Now I try to hit him with a soul spear right there, just to see if he's awake, see his quick reflexes. Now I get partial parries right there, but not quite. He does a heavy attack on me, and I punish him for that. We had this one match where I was just like, I backstabbed him, then I was running around a little bit, and then I accidentally chain backstabbed him. I don't know, I guess I could show you guys that in one of my next videos. But before I actually post our duels, or the rest of our duels with me versus Lord Dreed, I'll actually be posting duels of me versus the infamous Amos. So I finish him off there, I do attack him very quickly, then I roll away in the opposite direction. I was just like panicking then. I really did not expect myself to win that last battle, but I did. I won both of those guys. Now here he said, I believe he said this was one of his try-hard weapons or something like that, and it is a very powerful weapon. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it is my birthday today currently, but by the time I post this video, it'll probably be April 5th, my time. I don't know if anyone's that far ahead of me in the time zone, but yeah, my birthday is April 4th. For my birthday, I think I'll be getting a microphone for recording maybe, and probably that Dark Souls art book that Epic Name Bro showed in one of his videos. It looked like a really awesome art book. I did get the art book for the pre-ordered version of Dark Souls, although I didn't actually pre-order Dark Souls. I just got it for free because the people at GameStop offered it, and well, I accepted it because, you know, free stuff is pretty awesome. So yeah, I really like the original art book, and I think this new one will be much worth it, other than the fact that I don't understand the language. But it is an art book, you know, you just get it for the artwork. And now there, right there, what you saw right there, wow, I just said there like 3 times, was the power, the DPS of the curved sword, plus the crystal magic weapon. Not to mention that fighting someone with 0 poise, you can stun lock them with it, just like the curved greatsword, although it's not as nearly as good as breaking someone's high poise, or any poise really, if you're fighting against someone with poise. So yeah, you can definitely tell that the curved sword is like related to the great curved sword, which would logically make sense. Now here I go on a head-on battle with this guy, except he had a bit more poise than me, but nothing significant, and well, I prevailed. Now here, this will actually be one of my 1 versus 3s. I did have several of these kind of matches throughout my video, although at times it's kind of like one of the people that I'm fighting is actually an NPC, Knight Solaire, since I did most of my variations here and I know Orlando. Now, I took that first guy out very easy with my Crystal Soul Spear. And by the way, the rings that I'll be using are the Bellowing Dragon Crest ring and the Ring of Favor and Protection. I just use the ring of the Bellow Dragon Crest ring because I knew I was taking the role of Logan. I would definitely be using sorceries quite a bit, so I thought it was pretty relevant. And yeah, I take both these guys out at once with the backstab, and then followed by the spam the R1 button. But it was a good game. I got a bit lucky there that I was able to take them out just with the range of my weapon. So like a 2-for-1 back there. Now here I saw that there was 3 people that I'd be fighting, or at least 2. So I thought I'll just take out this Knight Solaire right away, take him out first. And this guy using the Wrath of the Gods, he hits me twice with it. And then the giant there helps me out and actually finishes his Knight Solaire off for me. And here I get a roll BS, very nice. Finish him off. Now it's down to a 1 versus 1. Just me and this guy. You know, fighting people with Havel's Great Shield, it's very, very annoying. And now look, I got very little HP left. Oh no. And I hit him with my white dragon breath. I got kind of lucky there, just predicting his movements. Then I navigate through my menu while in the fight. Luckily for me, this guy's never really that aggressive. He definitely hides behind his almighty shield right there, Havel's Great Shield. And yes, Havel's Great Shield does block a huge portion of magic damage. It's, you know, it's just as, I think it's 90% magic damage, which is just insane. You know, and it has 84 stability, just like any other, just about most other great shields. So yeah, this guy's tactics, they did become quite predictable at some point, I noticed, but it took me a while to really get the timing down and figure out how to counter them. It's kind of like every single time I hit him, he tries to hit me, and since he's using a halberd there, he has to take down his shield, take down his guard just to attack me. So that does leave me a small window to attack him, like right there, how I dodged his attack, then quickly took advantage of my quick weapon and attacked him. You know, in my opinion, curved swords are kind of like a much better version of daggers, except for the fact that they don't have any critical damage boost. You know, they're very short range, quick attacking. They're not too stamina intensive, and they do some pretty decent damage. As I mentioned earlier, my plus 14 scimitar does about 670 damage for me, and my enchanted Falch scimitar does about I think somewhere between 400 and 500 damage for me. Yeah, I don't know why I want to keep saying falchion. I think it's because I always use a falchion whenever I use a curved greatsword. Right there, that guy stands still for a second. Makes me wonder if he was trying to summon a phantom or something. So eventually I get it down. I got the timing down right there. Get a very nice riposte on him. Then, you know, just followed by a few more hits. And I take a hit. He takes a hit or two. I finish him off. Target has been destroyed. Successful 1 versus 3. Now this fight's rather interesting. There's this one glitch that I've noticed. I'm not sure if it's a glitch or what, but when you successfully, well, you can successfully parry an enemy, but they can still do 100% of the damage they would normally do to you. At least that's what it would seem to me. And soon enough, you guys will see this in this clip here. So yeah, I'm just being cautious, once again taking advantage of my quick weapon, as that great axe is quite the slow weapon. Its attacks are quite predictable. Its rolling attacks can be surprising, but at the same time they can be even more predictable. You just kinda gotta be cautious of those ones, I'd say. And there, right, that's what I'm talking about. He did like the regular damage to me, even though I successfully parried him. I don't know, maybe that should have been a partial parry. But I'm just happy that it was a successful parry nonetheless. I nearly hit him with my white dragon breath, but oh well. And now he's very low on life. He starts to back away, and I take out my sorceries to finish him off, but he backs behind the corner, and he drinks like at least 2 Estus flasks. I can't get any significant damage on him. Now I'm just relying on my enchanted falchion, so I was going to run back to cast my crystal magic weapon, but he was following me very closely, so I quickly turned around and backstabbed him. You know, usually when people flask multiple times in a battle, that's when I kind of get tired of them, and if I don't really have a chance to hit them with the Estus flasks, then I'll just start spamming backstabs, because, you know, they're already breaking the rules of PvP, as some may know them as. I would take a hit for hit, and his great axe does do an insane amount of damage. And right here, I have to be honest, I got very lucky. He was nearly at the point. If he had just walked like 1 step further, then he would have been at the immediately in front of me, where he would have just easily dodged my soul arrow there without even trying. But I hit him right before that immediate area, and I took that last guy out. Now this fight was, I think it was a 1v3, although you only see me fighting 2 people, and it was very easy. Well, don't mean to offend these people, but you know, I just gotta say, took that guy out easy. I knew as I invaded the person's world, you know, I could just immediately tell that I would be fighting up to 3 people, which is why I put on the Hornet's ring. I was prepared for more of a challenge, I suppose you could say, but it was a good fight, I suppose. I mean, just like a backstab and few uses of the soul arrow when they are down. I always want to call it soul arrow, even though I know its name is soul spear. But I feel like the name soul arrow is better. Now, as for this guy, I believe I had invaded him before, but I do believe he challenged the boss, so I really don't think this guy had prepared whatsoever for PvP. In fact, his damage does some very, very low damage, it would seem. And we are both using quick weapons. He's using some katana, and I'm using my scimitar. There, didn't say falchion, said scimitar. Now he predicted my move right there, and he nearly got me, but I rolled away before he could. This is a pretty fast-paced battle. As I said, we both have dexterous weapons. And against this guy, I really utilized that forward plus R1 attack button. I mean, move when you like flip backwards as you attack in front of you. It was in Demon Souls as well, actually. Lots of the weapon mechanics were practically the same from Demon Souls. Kind of interesting. That guy nearly got a backstab on me. You know, in the sequel to Dark Souls, I would love to see an even greater variety of weapons. Maybe weapons like, I believe they're called chakrams or something like that. So circular weapons that like are ring discs like weapons, and you fling them around. Well, you know, in fantasy games you fling them around, you know, slice at your enemies. Now I started to chain BS this guy for flasking multiple times, but I kind of got tired, and then I just barely realized that I had a Lloyd's talisman that I could use on him instead. But I took him out. Now I know before, like, all my PvP clips may not have been 100% accurate to Logan, although I kind of took Logan in hollowed form and Logan in regular form and combined them. But now for this last fight, I'm in his hollowed form, although I'm using the crystallization cataclysm in my left hand. And yes, this is another 1 versus 3, but we'll see how this one turns out. So I parried this guy, and luckily for me, I was wearing the Hornet's ring. I was prepared. I saw that phantoms were being summoned. I was invading the world, so I prepared myself. Now here I back away and defensively cast White Dragon Breath, but we take a hit for hit. He takes a bit more damage, I believe, and I was expecting him to do a regular attack, but apparently he saw my pro riposte skills, you know what I mean, and he did a jump attack, which was very wise. Thanks for watching, you guys. Goodbye.